Today I'm introducing the concept of seeding in sales. Now, I don't normally teach traditional sales techniques in my programs, but seeding is one technique from traditional sales that I do love, and it's very easy to learn. So what I'm sharing with you today is what seeding is, why it is so effective, in particular if you don't want to come across as pushy or salesy, how you can use it when selling from, and also how you can use seeding casually in a one-to-one conversation. I'm Watkin of Selling from the Heart, and I teach heart-centered business owners how to enroll clients and grow their business without resorting to manipulative sales and marketing techniques. So what is seeding? Seeding is the art of dropping into a conversation a casual mention of something that you offer. And the idea is that you're not trying to sell it, you're not laboring it, you're simply aiming to pique interest and curiosity. And what's so nice about it is that's all you need to do. You can just trust that if the ground is fertile, you can drop the seed and leave it there and it will grow on its own. And then when you are ready to introduce your offer at a later time, the client's much more open to listening to it because you've already piqued their interest. And in fact, if you do it well, they might even start pursuing you to find out more first. Now, I first learned about seeding way back when I was in my early 20s and I was being trained for my first ever sales role as a holiday rep in the Greek islands. I had no idea it was a sales job when I applied. I just wanted to have a summer in the sun. And we were sent off to a hotel in Essex for a few days to learn how to be a holiday rep. But most of it was actually sales training to teach us how to sell day trips to holidaymakers. Eventually, I was posted to the Greek island of Kos, and twice a week we would go and meet our new batch of holidaymakers at the airport, pack them into a coach and drive them from the airport to their hotel. And as we went, we would give them a guided tour of the island over the microphone from the front of the coach. Over there on the horizon, that's the volcanic island of Nisseros. You can drive right up to the inside of the volcano and walk on the surface. You can even fry an egg on it, it's so hot. And up there to the right in the hills is a mountain village so steep that there are no roads, only steps, and people get around by donkey. Now, all of the flights arrived in the middle of the night, so our sleepy passengers couldn't actually see a thing, but we were trained to do this anyway. And the very next morning, we would invite them to a welcome meeting straight after breakfast, and we'd sell to them. Day trips to Nisseros, outings to the mountain villages, and they booked in their droves. Now, seeding is so effective because it is so subtle. It doesn't require any high-pressure sales tactics, no sledgehammer required, and the client doesn't even feel like you're selling. All you're doing is piquing their curiosity and getting them interested to hear more. Let's look first at seeding when you're giving a talk. So, number one, you can use seeding to build desire for your main offer. So this would be where you're going to make an offer for a program at the end of your talk. So you can share a useful tip, a piece of advice, or a teaching point as part of your talk. And then you can just tell the audience where they can learn more, almost mentioning it as if casually in passing. So you might say, I've taught you one thing today that you can start doing straight away, but there are 3 more ways to address I can't afford it, and I teach those in my Get More Clients Saying Yes course. And then you move on to the next teaching point. The second way you can use it is to build desire for a bonus that you're going to offer. For example, by telling the story of a client's success after they followed a particular process. And then you can offer that same process or training as a bonus with your main offer. And then number 3, you can also drop in passing a mention of a service that you won't be making an offer on. For example, you might be speaking to sell your group online program, but you might mention during your talk something that happened on one of your VIP client days so that your audience is aware that you offer that service too. And seeding like this works particularly well to raise awareness of your services and programs at those times when you're not actually allowed to sell or make an offer. You can drop in a few good seeds during your talk, and people may even be seeking you out to find out more at the end. Then you can use seeding in one-to-one conversations. So you might make a casual, in-passing reference to something that you offer. You might mention an upcoming workshop you're running at the weekend, or you might make reference to a mentoring group that you run. And this can often be enough to pique someone's interest and get them asking you more. Case studies and client stories are also a very powerful way to seed. So if you can drop into your talk or into the conversation the results that you've helped one of your clients to achieve and the difference it has made to them, it can actually have a much greater impact to tell it as a story than if you're trying really hard to convince somebody that you can help them. And it also has a secondary benefit, because when you tell a story of a client or you use a client example, it also seeds the idea that you do actually have clients. And this helps a lot with your credibility. So seeding is a very subtle and very gentle technique that if you do it well, it won't feel like self-promotion, it won't feel salesy, it won't even feel like you're selling at all. So if you can learn to sprinkle seeds into your talks and into your conversations, it will make your sales so much more effective, and just as important, so much more comfortable for you. But be careful not to overdo it, because too many seeds and it will start to feel salesy. So you just want to sprinkle a few here and there and let them grow on their own. Now, if you've found this valuable and you would like to learn more about these types of non-pushy sales techniques, you can get started learning from me with my 7 Steps to Yes. This is a structure for an effective heart-centered sales conversation that will end with your client saying yes, please, to working with you if what you're offering is right for them. It takes just 21 minutes to watch and learn, and you can sign up for that at katherinewatkin.com/7 steps, or you can subscribe to this channel to be informed of new videos on the topic of heart-centered sales. And if you've enjoyed this video, please let YouTube know with a comment or a like, and I will also really appreciate that. Thank you, and see you soon.